Jackson Holliday is coming to the show. The top prospect in the sport has arrived. Welcome to this Baseball America Prospect Profile. All right, let's do this. Scotty Braun, JJ Cooper, and Carlos Collazo from Baseball America. JJ, first off, are you excited? We've been talking about Jackson for a long time, and his dad's pretty famous too.
Of course. I mean, why you not be excited about one of the best prospects, the best prospect in baseball, getting a chance to show what they do in the major leagues? And it both feels like that he just got here because it wasn't that long ago that we were hearing his name called as the number one pick in the draft. And at the same time, it feels like we've been waiting for this day for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy how rapidly he's moved through the minors, the adjustments that he made pre-draft, how quickly he elevated himself to the number one prospect in the draft class, and then to the top prospect in all of baseball. What really sticks out with Jackson Holliday and has for years now is just how advanced his approach is. Maybe that's unsurprising considering that his father was a great major league hitter in his own right, but just how well he's able to manage the strike zone, draw his walks. He doesn't strike out a lot. And I'm still pretty high on the power. I know maybe the power is not the loudest, most explosive tool that he has right now, but if you look at him physically, I think more power is coming. I've consistently been pretty high on it. And I don't know if there's really any area where he doesn't do something well, JJ. Maybe you can speak to something that is more of a question mark, but he's just a very well-rounded, up the middle, polished hitter with more upside on the way in the power department for me.
I completely agree with you when you talk about the power. I think that that's something we're going to see. We're just not going to see it right away. I think right now what he is an incredibly advanced hitter who should be able to work counts, not chase, get on base, steal bases, play great defense, especially at second base. All those things are there right now. But the thing about it is he's already mastered those skills. He's already mastering those skills at an age where many of his contemporaries are just hoping to get drafted. So the fact that he's big league ready now means that he gets to just stack on additional skill after skill after skill when other players are worrying about trying to figure out how to hit class A or double A hit pitching. He's going to then say, okay, every offseason there'll be a new thing to add. Maybe this year it's going to be power. Maybe next year the arm gets a little better. But the well-rounded package he already has is going to make him an impact player, even as he adds further skills and tools.
Which side of the equation were you on when the team decided not to break camp with Mr. Holliday? Because I felt like they were hinting at it in the wintertime, JJ, and then we get to spring training, and the numbers looked pretty good. I know everything's a small sample size in spring training, but the average over 300, the slugging at 600. Sure, you could make a case for the strikeout to walk ratio not being tilted the way you'd like it, but they alluded to him getting more time against left-handed pitching and more time at second base. I just felt like he was the best man for the job, and the Orioles need to put up dubs.
The problem for this is the Orioles have is a great problem to have, which is they have too many guys. By sending a Holiday down, by sending a Kobe Mayo down, they're kind of pushing that decision point a little further down the road because they do have a Jordan Westbrook, they do have a Jorge Mateo, they do have a Ramon Urias, who all these guys have been productive players. I don't think it's crazy that they sent Holiday down. The thing that he's always shown in the minors, he's walked almost as much as he struck out. Spring training this year, it was like a 7% walk rate and a 31% strikeout rate. That's really unusual for him. If you said that he was being a little over aggressive because he wanted to earn a spot, I get it. And I don't think this is going to be a long-term problem. But if you say, okay, a few more weeks in AAA, a little bit of time in AAA for a player who came into 2024 with less than 750 career minor league plate appearances, that isn't crazy. That's not slowing him. He's already on the fast track. It's just was a little bit slower fast track than it was if he broke camp straight out of spring training.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. Really, if there was an obvious hole or if there was less depth on the infield, like you mentioned, JJ, maybe it would have made sense for him to start day one. But I think you can make the case that a little bit more seasoning, one area of his game that I think probably could be improved as well. I'm not sure if they were this nitpicky about his offensive profile, but he's still learning how to lift the ball consistently. He hits the ball on the ground more than some of the other elite hitting prospects on the top of our list in the top 10. So maybe that's an area where they say, hey, we want this power to come. You can learn how to lift the ball a little bit more. There's just a little bit more seasoning that can probably be done. I'm not really sure how much defensive polish he needed moving from shortstop to second base. I'm pretty high on his athleticism and all the tools necessary for that position. Maybe you feel more comfortable if he has a few more reps at the keystone. But in general, I think he could probably play any of the non-first base infield positions and play them pretty well. Though again, I'm probably higher on his arm than maybe you are, JJ. I know we've written about this in the past. The arm is maybe the one tool you could point to and say, hey, this is a clear area for improvement. But just watching him when he was in high school, seeing the strengths he's added just in the few years he's been in pro ball, I'm pretty confident in him making the necessary adjustments defensively. And with all these young players, there might be a learning curve when he starts facing MLB pitching. We see that. I feel confident that he'll be able to make the adjustment as quickly as anyone that we have in baseball.
I don't hate his arm. I understand where people may think I do because I wrote about it and how that's probably his weakest tool. But I really like how Jackson Holliday knows what his arm is and plays the game the savvy of a veteran to get around that. He has a really quick release. He makes sure that he almost always is getting his momentum going towards first base. So he sets himself up to play to his arm. He's got the range. He's got the anticipation to make it work even at shortstop with that. I'm not that worried about it, but I do think it obviously plays better at second base than it does at short.
Okay, so let's talk big picture and dream upside. Could this be the best player in the sport within the next 3 years? Are the tools there? Is the upside there for him to be the face of baseball in, say, 2025 or 6? JJ, what do you think?
Okay, so that may not even make him. The first thing he has to do is be the best player on his team, which is going to be really hard when you've got Adley and Gunnar. But that said, if you told me that he wins a batting title, which would make him be up there with the best players in the game, I wouldn't be shocked at all to see a batting title, maybe an on-base title as well in the next 5 years. And so that means, yeah, that makes him one of the best players in the game. I just don't know if he's going to be the best player on his own team because maybe it's Adley, maybe it's Gunnar. Oh, yeah, you're an Orioles fan. This is a debate you haven't been having since what? The days of Earl Weaver?
What do you think, Carlos? Could this be the best player on the Orioles and I guess in the league, or at least one of the best players? You know, when we do a superstars list, we debate it. Okay, you know, we talk Ohtani and Acuna and go over some other names that stand out in baseball, Mookie Betts, etc. Can Jackson Holliday be that good? Because I think most people project him at least to be an all-star player throughout his career if he stays on this track.
Yeah, I think ultimately it's just going to come down to that power tool and how quickly does he get to the plus power that I think he does have. I think at the same time, Bobby Witt Jr. probably had a little bit more of an explosive tool set, whereas Jackson Holliday is maybe the more advanced pure hitter. So how he develops physically, how much impact he actually gets to, I think that'll ultimately be the test. I would say probably lean towards no. I think there are guys like Acuna Jr. and Betts, who you mentioned. They just have so much power and so much speed. The tools seem a little more exciting. I think he can get into that conversation, but really how much power he adds is the big question for me. I'm high on it. We need to see it first, though.
Yeah, fair. Okay. But regardless, I think at least you're looking at an all-star player here if everything kind of clicks the way it's looking like it will for Jackson Holliday. So congratulations to him getting called up to the show. And thanks for watching this Baseball America Prospect Profile. If you want to see more profiles like this, check out the BA channel and look out for more profiles when big prospects get called up. See you soon.